Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. So today I've been at the Mobile World Congress checking out the brand new P10 thanks to EE. Now, I asked you guys on Twitter what you wanted to see, either the LG G6 or the P10 video, first look, sort of first thoughts, and the interest was great on both. But unfortunately I don't have enough B-roll of the G6 to make a video, so we're tackling the P10 first. So starting the conference, we took the stage and we saw the design of the phone. How's it changed from the P9? Well, the P10 has a more refined design than the P9. It's got a front-mounted fingerprint sensor rather than it being on the rear of the device, and both the P9 and the P10 support USB-C. With the P10 we've now got a metal body with curved edges and a dual camera setup within the antenna strip at the top of the device. So on the P10 we're actually rocking a 5.1 inch full HD resolution display, which puts it in at a whopping 431 ppi, making it ever so sharper and crisper than its predecessor, the P9, thanks to the 0.1 inch reduction in size. We also saw some crazy new colours being announced: majestic silver, rose gold, graphite black, dazzling gold, dazzling blue, and greenery. The new dazzling blue colour, they said, well, blue is the colour of the sky, and they mentioned that the sky has never fallen down, therefore that makes the phone reliable. It was a really strange keynote. But no matter what they said, I'm a fan of the new colours. So the P10 follows the path of the predecessor, the P9, with its Lacia branded dual rear camera in a horizontal setup. We've got a 20 megapixel monochrome sensor next to a 12 megapixel colour sensor, which both have an aperture of f2.2. Now we've also got Lacia technology in the front facing camera on the P10 too for some dazzling selfies. Obviously we've got 4K support in the P10 too, which is brilliant. Inside the phone we've got 4 gigs of RAM, a 960 high silicon processor coupled with a 3200 milliamp hour battery, and they were adamant that this is 31% more battery life than you'd get out of your typical iPhone 7. On the front of the phone we've got the Gorilla Glass 4 screen, which blends in perfectly with the metal. Underneath that we've got the underneath glass fingerprint sensor. Yes, the fingerprint sensor is actually underneath the glass on this phone. There's no camera bump on the back, and we've got 56% less bezels on this phone than the iPhone 7. And they were also claiming up to 2 days worth of battery life with this 3200 milliamp hour battery. Now I was actually a massive fan of the P10. You guys know I'm primarily an iPhone user, not an Android guy, so it's strange that I'm sat here talking about an Android phone, but hear me out. I was number one super impressed with the colours that this phone has come out with. More especially the research that they'd had put into choosing these colours. It seemed very thorough and it just seemed sort of right. The screen on this phone was absolutely phenomenal when I got to use it, which albeit wasn't a very long time, but it still was very vibrant. And the camera, the camera. So as I've mentioned, we've got this dual camera setup on the back, which can do the same thing that the iPhone 7 boasted with its sort of, portrait mode. It does a pretty good job of picking out people and objects and blurring out the background, but the thing that caught my eye the most is the front-facing camera. So we've actually brought Lacia technology to the front-facing camera, and it can do the exact same thing. So the lens on the front of the phone is very wide angle, so if there's 3 of you or 4 of you trying to take a selfie, it will use that full wide angled lens. But sometimes wide angle can look a little bit odd, so if the phone detects that there's only one person using the selfie camera, it'll zoom in. It zooms in to minimise that fisheye effect, and it really works. And on top of that, not just on the back camera but on the front camera, there's also the depth effect, so it can blur out the background and smooth out your face. Now inside its diamond cut body you can find yourself 64 gigabytes of internal storage, but if you want more than that you can also put in a micro SD card up to 256 gigabytes, which is something I would wish you could do on an iPhone. But other than the gorgeous looks of this device, there's nothing much more to say. Coming from a primarily iPhone user here, I think Android phones have played a massive game in the last year of catch-up, and they're getting pretty on par with the build quality I would say I would find on an iPhone. Like, You can't really go wrong with either nowadays. I love the new colours, the camera was amazing, the screen was amazing, and obviously we didn't get to test out the battery life, but from what they've said, it's going to be pretty decent, lasting up to 2 days. So if you guys are looking for a new phone for 2017, I would highly recommend that you put the P10 in your option list, or at least go and try it out for yourself. But for now guys, this has been my first take on the P10 from the conference today. Thanks to E for bringing me out here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.